In the high-stakes world of Premier League football, hope can turn to despair in a heartbeat. And for Tottenham Hotspur, that's exactly what happened. This isn't just a story about a manager getting fired. It's about a club in a complete and total crisis. So let's get right into it and unpack the collapse at Tottenham. Just imagine this sound. It's echoing all around the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. This wasn't just a few fans chanting. This was a verdict delivered by thousands during a truly toxic 2-1 home loss to Newcastle. You know, it was the soundtrack to the end of a very, very short era. And well, that verdict from the fans, it became official reality. On the morning of February 11th, 2026, the club finally confirmed what pretty much everyone saw coming. The club's statement was exactly what you'd expect. Very clinical, very corporate. They mentioned how they really wanted to give Thomas Frank time and support. But they said the results, and maybe more importantly the performances, just forced their hand. They felt a change was, and I'm quoting here, necessary at this point. So just how bad did things actually get? I mean, what does a catastrophic run really look like? Let's break down the numbers that left the board feeling like they had absolutely no other choice. First up, the brutal, stark reality of the league table, 16th place. For a club the size of Spurs, this is way beyond just underperforming. It's a full-blown disaster. They were hovering just 5 points above the relegation zone. 5 points. And how did they end up there? Well, look at this number. Just two wins in their last 17 league matches. That is an absolutely abysmal run of form. I mean, winning a game of football became this almost impossible mountain to climb. And it all came to a head with this, an 8-game winless streak. Now, to put that into perspective for you, this was the club's longest run without a single victory in the Premier League since way back in 2008. We are talking about a historically awful period for the club. This timeline just perfectly captures how quickly it all unraveled. You know, you start with all the hope of a new appointment in June, then in August, a really narrow loss in the Super Cup that maybe felt a little encouraging. But then, bam, by October, they'd recorded their last league win for what felt like forever, and it all ended with that final loss in February. 8 months, that's all it took for the whole thing to just fall apart. But here's the thing. To just point the finger at the manager and blame him for the results, well, you'd be missing the bigger picture here. Even the club itself basically admitted that the problems at Tottenham run so much deeper than just Thomas Frank. And this right here, this is the perfect storm. Frank walked into a club that already had issues bubbling under the surface. Then he gets hit with a ridiculous number of injuries to key players. On top of that, the whole atmosphere off the pitch had turned toxic. I mean, you had the team captain, Christian Romero, publicly calling out the club's leadership. And all of this was happening in this weird, new, uncertain era after Daniel Levy. Now, this comparison tells such a fascinating story. Yeah, they finished a miserable 17th last season, but Ange Postecoglou delivered their first trophy in 17 years by winning the Europa League. That piece of silverware, that glory, it covered up a lot of cracks. This season, no shiny trophy, no exciting cup runs, just the cold, hard, terrifying threat of relegation. So the change has been made. The manager is out. But that brings us to the most important question of all. What happens now? All of those fundamental problems about the club's direction, they're not just still there, they're more urgent than ever. Let's be clear, the board's motivation was simple. It was fear, pure fear. They acted because the threat of relegation wasn't just a bad dream anymore. It was becoming very, very real. From what we're hearing, the plan right now is to bring in an interim manager. Not some long-term visionary, but a firefighter. Someone to come in, put out the flames, and just see them through to the summer. And so that's what I want to leave you with. When the problems are this deep, we're talking injuries, internal politics, a broken club culture, is just changing the face in the dugout really enough? You know, sacking the manager is always the easiest lever to pull, but it's almost never the magic wand that solves everything. And for Tottenham Hotspur, the real work has only just begun.